Yes, it's time to clean the ride-on lawnmower. If we take a look at our mower, we see that we collect a lot of dry grass here in this area. There it's not so difficult, but back there, see that? When that gets wet, it gets really soggy and this thing starts rusting. And back here is the transmission. You know, the hydrostatic transmission. That thing needs to be cooled. There we see dirt and leaves and stuff. And if we look up a little bit higher down here, so that way you can see the fan back there. So if that fan is clogged with hay, then you have no cooling. No cooling means death. And yeah, same is for the engine. So the engine is sucking air in here through this hole. Sucking in air here through those holes. Then it gets directed through this funnel here. There, and sucked in here by this fan. And then from there it goes inside the engine over the piston. Excuse me. This is an air-cooled engine. So we're going to remove the cover with 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. And we are going to be able to look underneath to see if there's any debris in there. So I use my little 8mm tool here and just remove those 4 screws I just showed you. There's one. I just loosen the bolts, all 4 of them, and then I use an electric power drill to do this faster. You see, I got this attachment here, where you then you can just attach this to your power drill easy. And that makes it a lot faster to remove those screws. Look at that. How fast that goes. And so I'm removing all 4 of them. If you don't want to get your fingers dirty, you can use those rubber gloves. I use the thin ones for this one. Then you don't need to scrub so much later if you get like oil on your hands or what. They are sometimes helpful. And you probably don't do this every day, so if you want dirty fingers, go without. If not, use gloves. So before we take the cover off, we have to remove the oil dipstick. And when we remove it, we have to be careful that we do not drop anything into it. So as soon as possible, we put the dipstick back in there to avoid having any debris fall into the hole. We check the cover. If there is any dirt in there, we need to remove. Now I'm going to show you where the airflow is in this engine. Let's have a good look around here. So the air is going in here, and those fan blades push it out to the side, and the air duct in the cover is forcing the air down into here. All those holes will be blown out with air. Now we have to see that the valve cover here is not leaking oil. If it's leaking oil, it collects dirt and dust, and then we get this greasy, smeary stuff on there, right? Here all those holes have to be open, unless they are not open because there's a cylinder in there, right? But the open ones that should be open need to be clean. Here we see there's a leaf in there, what clogs like 1 or 2 ribs of the cooling fins there. That's bad. All those fins have to be open and being free of dirt and debris. You check all those if there's nothing in there. Checking for oil leakage. Down here, the valve cover is leaking often. It will drip on the exhaust pipe there. But it looks good in this case. It's pretty clean. And because I showed in the other video on how to replace that, and for that I cleaned out all the oil. If it's too greasy and too bad in there, you could use brake cleaner to flush that out. See, there is this leaf. There, that is clogging those holes. Go in there with the screwdriver to open them up again. So they have to be open, and air has to be able to go there freely through those holes. Again, so if you want to put brake cleaner or anything through this, you can, but you need to make sure that you put something underneath your tractor so that you don't leak that stuff into your yard. Grass won't grow after you put brake cleaner on it. Yeah, so see if all the holes are open and free, that the thing can breathe, the air goes through easy, it will cool, and when it cools, nothing breaks. You know, the problem with those is if one of those holes clogs and no air goes through, it overheats and that damages parts inside the engine. So since it's an air-cooled engine, it's very important that it is clean. And mowing grass has the thing that grass is floating around, leaves and anything. So, yeah. Now, we can use some air to blow this all out. If you have a ride-on mower, then you probably have a leaf blower. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out the leaf blower and then I'm going to blow all this crap out. So it will get a little loud. So after everything is blown out here and clean, we can put the cover back on. Very important that you don't run the engine without this cover on there. It is very important. It will overheat. There is no air forced around the piston and it will die. So you need to put the cover back on. Good, we are done. Depending on how much dirt it collects, you should do this every once in a while to keep your engine from overheating. And your transmission too.